Good morning. It is July 7th, 2026, and we are in the Habits of Health, page 303, 2.7, which is the science of healthy eating and weight loss. And this section, we've been talking about the macronutrients, protein, carbs, healthy fats, and then we're talking about the fourth one. We're at the second. This is the third recording that we've done in this chunk of education. And we're talking today about the role of alcohol. I think it's really interesting that he puts this in its own category. Um, but anyways, let's get right into it. The role of alcohol. Alcohol isn't really a nutrient since it doesn't provide nutrition per se, but it does play a role in managing or not managing your weight. Not only is alcohol high in calories, it lowers inhibitions, making you more likely to overeat or to eat unhealthy foods. In fact, it can halt the fat burning state in its tracks and diminish your ability to control your energy intake, and it should be avoided entirely during phase one. If you do drink, you can resume doing so in phase two, though you may want to change your drink of choice to red wine once you learn in phase three and phase four about healthy longevity producing properties of some of its ingredients. Red wine is a part of the Mediterranean lifestyle, although it should be avoided in the weight loss phase. Again, I'm going to read the sidebar. Asking yourself if you're really hungry before you eat. That's a habit of health. And then the other sidebar is, could you be thirsty? Sometimes when we think we're hungry, it's really a sign that our body's craving water. Here's a tip. Next time you feel hungry, grab a big glass of water and drink the whole thing, wait 15 minutes or so, and ask yourself if you're still hungry. About 30% of the time, what we think is hunger is something else entirely. All right, back to our education. Now that you've gained a better understanding of how your body uses the energy you feed it, let's take a look at some important techniques that you can use that energy more effectively and fight hunger as you burn fat. Okay, let's go over to the sidebar. A habit of health, avoiding foods with too many ingredients. When you're shopping, be sure to check the food labels and avoid any grocery items with lots of ingredients. Studies show that if a product contains fewer than 3 ingredients, you're less likely to overeat. Very interesting. Core principle 2, hunger control, satiety, the science of fullness. The emerging science of appetite control has given us a number of important ideas that can make your new leptogenic, remember, leptogenic is heading towards thin, leptogenic world, the world of thinness, that's much stronger. Most of these principles are already built into your healthy eating strategies here, so they should be pretty easy to grasp. We'll focus on 5 principal areas that can help you fight hunger. Volumetrics, energy density, sensory-specific satiety, protein enhancement, and fiber. Volume, the key to satiety. Research shows that we eat about the same volume or weight of food every day. So if you want to feel fuller quicker, it makes sense to eat foods that are low dense, contain a lot of water, and high volume, meaning there's a large amount of food per calorie. Vegetables and fruits are good examples. In addition to being high in water content, they contain lots of nutrients, so they create a sense of fullness. That's why making foods from this group is a large part of your meal, as you do when you use my healthy eating system. Is so effective for weight loss and maintenance. With its color-coded listings and high percentage of vegetables and fruits, my system is designed to help you increase your intake of filling, low-density foods in the proper portion. Now I'm going to reach back to something that we read a couple of weeks ago. So half, I don't know why it says half of an 8-ounce bag of potato chips. In other words, 4 ounces. I don't know why he says that, but as a small 8-ounce bag of potato chips has like 535 calories. If you eat 2.2 pounds of broccoli, again, I don't know why it's 2.2, but it's 2.2 pounds of broccoli, you will be eating 100 calories less, and it would take you way more than one sitting to eat that 2.2 pounds of broccoli, and the nutrition of it would be so much greater. That's right. That's always stuck in my head. It's like, really? 4 ounces of potato chips versus 2.2 pounds of broccoli. So you want to talk about volume when you're eating healthy? Some people, when they start eating this way and they have that lean ingredients, like it's just too much. Okay, we'll save it till later and finish it because you need all of that. But to see when you're eating healthy, there's no way you shouldn't be full, especially when you actually go through transition and optimization. You are eating a lot of food if it's healthy food. That's all there is to it to get your calories up to what you burn. So, in comparison. Okay, that's my side note. Controlling your intake through energy density. Knowing the energy density of foods can help you choose ones that promote weight loss and maintenance. This is particularly, lots of L's, useful tool when you're choosing foods that aren't part of the glycemic index, such as meats. In fact, the ED number is already an important part of the food labels of products in Europe and Canada. Interesting. Energy density. But since we don't yet have this information on our food packaging, we need to calculate the energy density ourselves. To do so, divide the number of calories in one serving by the weight of that serving in grams. For example, if one serving of peanut butter contains 190 calories, and recognize that's 2 tablespoons, and that's not heaping tablespoons, that's level tablespoons. Okay? Because if you do heaping, you're going to end up with double the amount. Anyways, side note, speaking to myself. Um, yeah. So 32 grams, divide 190 by 32 for an energy density of 5.9. Once you have the energy density, you can use this simple guide to determine which foods are good choices. Best energy density, less than 1. Ooh, and peanut butter was 5.9. Okay, includes vegetables and fruits. Eat mostly foods from this group, which make up 50% of the plate. And again, in optimization, once you've totally gone through transition, you're in optimization and it's a 9-inch plate with 4 quadrants. Vegetable, fruit, protein, carbohydrate, and the fruit and carbs can be all vegetable, but cannot be all fruit. Yeah, Sue.
What page is that on?
305 in the habits of health.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's see. So good energy density is between 1 and 2. Includes whole wheat pasta and skinless meats. And then limit ED, energy density, above 2. Choose these foods sparingly. But if you really want some, go ahead and enjoy them as a special treat. But again, a serving. I think that's the biggest thing that we're learning. It's a serving. If you're going to sabotage something, just have a serving, and enjoy it. And I will tell you, the 3-bite rule has been one of the greatest things that Dr. A taught me 11 years ago. You know what? If you take 3 teaspoons which is probably more than a teaspoon, but 3 teaspoons, and put those on your plate and know that you're going to actually enjoy those 3 instead of a whole chunk. Because if you eat a whole chunk of, say, a cake or a pie, you get done and it's like, did I ever even taste that? It's just what we do. We eat it and we visit and and it's gone. But if you take 3 bites, you're going to focus on it a little bit more. You're going to put that first bite into your mouth and you take the time to sit and savor it. And if you really actually savor it, I am blown away how many times I end up not having the second or the third bite because it's like, oh, that doesn't really taste like my mind told me it would. So, anyways. When you use our healthy eating system, you'll automatically choose the right proportion of foods that help you feel full and minimize energy density. But for additional guidance, here's a diagram that categorizes some common foods based on their energy density. So food groupings by energy density. So I'll show you the graph again. I'm going to kind of read it. So there's the graph that he's showing us, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And remember, whether it's the glycemic index, whether it's our Rimpo scale, whatever it's when it's green, he says you're lean. When it's red, it means you're dead. Not that it's going to kill you right away, but he does like to laugh about that and say, okay, maybe not right away, but so most fruits and vegetables, skim milk, broths, soup base. So again, that's half of the plate is the low energy density. There's a little tiny, highest energy density is a little tiny red. It's full of fat. It's condiments. It's crackers, chips, chocolate, cookies, nuts, and butter. And then over here is medium energy density, and it's just not even a quarter. Meats, cheese, high fat, mixed dishes, salad dressing, some snacks, foods, and recognize salad dressings are the same. We have to measure it. If it's light, it's 2 level tablespoons. Get the tablespoons dirty. Just do it. It's so impactful. With something like that, it doesn't take very much, and you've got 400 calories. If it's full fat, and you're having 4 tablespoons, which isn't very much, that's 400 calories. And that's packing, and your body's going to burn that fat instead of your stored fat. I mean, it is very important to have, but it's very important to know how much. And also with dressings, really, really, really watch sodium. I'll tell you what, Caesar dressing is over the top. There's oh shoot, what's that Italian restaurant? Olive Garden. Their dressings, oh my gosh, one serving is like 500 milligrams of sodium. It's horrible. And then you get the light and it's even worse. So be very, very, when you're looking at labels, really pay attention to some of that stuff. We don't want to, and sodium will make you even more hungry and thirsty. Actually, it makes you probably more thirsty, and then it makes you feel like you're hungry. But okay, side note. Wow. Lots of side notes. Low energy density is the cooked grains cereal with low-fat milk, low-fat meats, beans, legumes, and low-fat mixed dishes. And again, that's the lighter green. Okay, so to feel satisfied while keeping calories in check, choose mostly foods from the lower ED section, the dark green, followed by those with the light green, and then eat foods from the highest energy density section, dark red, sparingly, and never when you're hungry. Flavor enhancement, the food industry's dirty little secret. Did you know that flavor can either stimulate or suppress the brain's appetite control? While science is just beginning to understand how it all works, the food industry has been using this trick for decades, overloading our senses with processed foods filled with salt, sweet, and sour flavors to encourage us to overeat. One classic way the food industry overstimulates our appetite center is by masking ingredients. It may surprise you to know that some cereals actually contain more salt than potato chips. As a result, we keep eating in order to satisfy our salt appetite center, even once our sugar senses are full. Flavors can work the other way as well. Experts at Yale Prevention Research Center found that people tend to feel fuller and stop eating sooner when a meal contains fewer flavors. So limiting the variety of flavors that you eat may actually help you lose weight. What's the best way to do that? Limit your intake of processed foods, and I'm going to say ultra processed foods. And beat the food industry at its own game. Instead, let your color-coded shopping chart be your guide to buying healthy whole foods with flavors that are naturally satisfying and true. You know, our products, they have great taste. Some of them are favorites, some of them you may not like. It doesn't matter. But they are processed in a way to heal your body. We know about the food industry's thing with making you crave and eat more. Our scientists, I mean, we've talked to the scientists, our food scientists, and they are so pleased to be on the same mission that we are. They are making quality foods with the vitamins and the minerals and actually we're enhancing them again in July. Our new products are going to have even more enhancements for good things for the body, not to make you not to make you go on a diet and have diet food, no suppressants. It's not suppressants, and it's not salts and fats and things that are going to make you crave more. Food that will serve your body. Yes, they are processed. But you know what? You get a steak, it's been processed also. It's been cut and it's been wrapped, it's been put in things. Now, ultra processed, they add flours, refined sugars, lots of salt and sodium and different things that make you more craving. And their scientists actually work to make that happen. Is that not sad? That's so sad in my mind. Okay, another rampage of mine. So, battle hunger with protein. And boy, have we been working on this. This has been so fun, the direction that our company's been going. Don't skimp on protein. Studies have shown that protein makes us feel fuller than other macronutrients, such as carbohydrates and fats. A recent Washington School of Medicine study showed that participants on the control higher protein diet, up to 30% of their daily intake from protein, felt less hungry than those on a lower protein diet, as little as 15%. And when given as much to eat as they wanted, the higher protein group lost considerably more weight than the lower protein group. Another benefit of protein is that your body uses more energy to break it down. And that means that you're burning more calories just digesting it. So the total number of calories you need to maintain your weight might be a little higher if you eat the right amount of protein. So did you catch that? Protein takes more calories to burn it. And we learned that, I think, at the beginning of this when we were talking about protein. It's a product that takes more energy to chew up versus alcohol takes no energy and it's so much higher in calories per gram. Fats, same thing. It doesn't take much to burn it, and yet it's so calorie dense. One of the things that's often talked about now is our essential amino acids. You can bring in those essential amino acids and have it be, I don't know what it is, 60 calories, but it's like eating 30 grams of protein. What it creates in the body is like eating 30 grams of protein, but you don't have 200, 300, 350 calories of protein. So the body easily assimilates it, uses it like it should. So that's kind of a cool thing that we've been working on. And then, of course, the whey protein shake has been a great addition also to get us protein on board, less calories than having, and actually a lot less expensive than real protein, salmon, steak, chicken, whatever. A serving of that whey shake is way less than buying a steak. Oh my gosh, steaks have been crazy. Okay. Um, okay, sidebar on page 307. Suffering from back pain? Maintaining a healthy weight is the number one way to strengthen and protect your back, according to the American Council on Exercise. I will also say that planks work really, really good for that. Macronutrient ranked by the level of satiety. Alcohol is the lowest, fat is next, complex carbohydrates next, and then protein is the highest. So ranked for satiety. Which types of foods make us feel full? Protein is the most filling, followed by complex carbohydrates, then fat. Alcohol is at the bottom, making it a poor choice when you're trying to maintain your weight. That's one reason we've been careful to include the proper proportion of healthy low-fat proteins in our healthy eating strategy, 25% of your plate, as well as ample portions of low-density complex carbohydrates, 50% of your plate. That way, you know you're choosing the most satisfying and filling foods available. Remember, though, that some high protein foods can be extremely energy dense because of their fat content. Grabbing a handful of nuts may stave off hunger, but it comes at the price of high calories. Just to be sure to keep your intake moderate. So like 8 almonds. And I wouldn't do that every day. I really wouldn't, because they are fat. They are not protein. Whoever told us it was protein was lying to us. Peanut butter is not protein. It's mostly fat. I just had something run through my head too. Oh, and 25% of the plate is also in optimization. Usually during the losing phase for that one meal, if it's shrimp, it's half a plate full of shrimp. So recognize, I mean, 7 ounces of shrimp after it's cooked is like a half of a 9-inch plate, big time. So just so you recognize, this is when we're talking about when you've moved into optimization. And again, you're having fruit as a quarter, fruit as a vegetable, grain as a quarter, and protein as a quarter. So that's kind of what that 9-inch plate, when you're living life, it's a smaller plate. But that's kind of a good visual: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then a fueling in between. Or you can figure out something for mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and evening, and recognize 6 times a day is for the rest of our lives. That's how we make our pancreas work properly, and we don't create that corrosion that brings on metabolic dysfunction or metabolic syndrome. So fill up with fiber. Not only does fiber provide critical health benefits, it also fills you up, so you're less tempted to overeat. As we discussed in part 2.5, Choosing Wisely, Dr. A's color-coded shopping system, both soluble and insoluble fiber are important. Soluble fiber slows the breakdown of complex carbohydrates, thereby helping to reduce blood sugar in the right quantity. It can even help lower blood cholesterol. It is found in rye, barley, oats, vegetables, legumes, and fruits. Insoluble fiber can't be absorbed or digested by the body, but it still provides a number of benefits, including reducing hunger and cleansing your digestive tract by pulling water into the colon, which stimulates regular bowel movements. Insoluble fiber is found in brown rice, whole wheat, breads, cereals, seeds, vegetables, fruit skins, and legumes. Are you sure you're hungry? Okay, we've got what, 3 minutes? I'm going to read this section. Are you sure you're hungry? Stress, socializing, watching TV, and eating out with friends can all contribute to mindless eating. Our 3-hour fueling strategy should fulfill your body's energy need most of the time. So, if you find yourself wanting to eat outside of your planned meals and fueling breaks, you may well be responding to something other than hunger. If this is the case, remember the tools that keep you on your path. Eat slowly and pay attention to all the sensory input your experience through you experience through your food. You'll feel full and satisfied sooner. In time, eating mindfully will become second nature. Becoming more aware of your eating habits and experiences will help you stay focused and encourage you to make the best secondary choices to support your primary goal. You now have a comprehensive understanding of the healthy eating strategy and know how to use tools, such as portion-controlled meals, a 9-inch plate, the 4 major food components, and the color-coded system to stay on top of your energy intake and hunger for life. A recent study showed that simply by decreasing portion size and energy density by 25%, people were able to maintain their healthy weight. And now, so can you. Combine your new understanding of portion control and energy density with your knowledge of healthy eating, healthy protein, grain, vegetables, and fruit, and you have the habits of health to support a lifetime of healthy eating.